Hi, ma'am. Ma'am, to start
Hi,
with,
Anvi.
could you introduce yourself, like a brief introduction about yourself, what you do, who all you live with, etc.?
So I'm Juhi Rai. I'm a physiotherapist by profession, and I have a very small family with my parents in it, and my husband and my son. We live together as a family.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think that's fine. If you don't mind answering, do you have any medical history?
Yeah, I am a patient of high blood pressure. No other medical history.
Okay.
So I'm on medications for that.
Keeping in mind the fact that you have high blood pressure, are there any precautions that you're taking, like any further precautions than a person who doesn't have it would take?
So taking the present circumstances in view, like the
Yeah.
COVID the
Yeah.
situation in
COVID
view.
situation. Yeah, that's right.
Just the regular precaution that everyone takes. Everyone who's stepping out on a daily basis for work takes. So sanitization, hand sanitization, a mask, and as much as social distancing as possible at work, and keeping myself healthy, so eating healthy and making sure I'm taking my medications on time. That's the only thing that I'm taking care of.
Okay. So, ma'am, as you previously mentioned, you're a physiotherapist, right? So, how has it been for you since in March? Of course, you couldn't go outside because there was strict lockdown in India, most parts of India. So, like school, etc., school classes have been converted on an online format. But how was dealing with converting physiotherapists' appointments in an online format? How was that for you?
Yeah, in that sense, I think this is a very important question as a physiotherapist that I can answer. It was difficult for me personally as well, and I am sure all physiotherapists who were not working at that time and taking, say, a video call with from patients, a little bit difficult because nothing can replace the physical examination of a patient. So on a video call, you're not able to judge completely what the situation with the patient is. Having said that, in those 1.5 2 months that we were at home, we were able to help out a lot of our patients, at least in maintaining status quo, if not getting worse in their pains and discomfort.
Okay.
Once the clinic opened, it was much quite a relief because a lot of our patients we were able to help physically and we could see them personally, so that really helped. But yes, to some extent we were able to help online as well.
Taking it further from there, you said that your patients are old also, right? Because like pains and all happen more at old age. Like people
Yes.
in the high risk category need more of physiotherapy as like children and all.
Yes.
So how was it dealing with that, since the old people wouldn't want to come to clinics personally? Because like if my
Yeah.
grandparents or my parents said they had to go to a clinic, it would be a no. So how was it dealing with that? What was
Yeah,
the experience?
and that situation is still ongoing. I mean, that's something that we're still dealing with. A lot of geriatric above 65-year-old patients, we are still helping online. We are trying to say take online exercise sessions for them as much as possible. We're trying to make sure that whatever they're comfortable in terms of exercise, we're able to do it online with them. It's difficult because with in older age you don't see much a quick result. You don't see a quick relief happening. So it's also, of course, kind of disheartening for them that whether we're not getting that better. What can we do more? So there's a lot of counseling involved for older people. But yes, a lot of older patients are finding it difficult to cope with the fact that they can't step out, they can't come for treatment, they are scared to come out. So yes, those who did need physiotherapy primarily, like the older people, older patients, and patient with complications like a neurological stroke case, or a children who need physiotherapy. Those are the ones who are losing out because they, of course, are not wanting to risk coming out of the house on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's true.
So we
Uh,
do find that their numbers have decreased.
Yeah. So since you're going to the clinic now, can you tell me some of the precautions that you are taking since you're going there and you have your parents and like a son living with you, so to like keep your family safe? What precautions are you taking at your clinic?
First and foremost, in the clinic, while in the clinic itself, most important precaution is to constantly keep sanitizing our hands, either by washing them or using a hand sanitizer, and constantly keep our masks on. Also make sure that our patients have the masks on. And so that's what we do in sanitizing in each and every surface that we use on the patient, each and every surface that we touch while treating a patient, everything is sanitized on after we deal with each patient. So that's at the clinic level, workplace level. Personal level, yeah, the moment I come back home, I make sure that the first thing that I do is have a good bath, and clean all my put all my clothes to a wash, clean them, sanitize all the things that I have taken out with me for work. So whatever I get back home, it's everything is sanitized. um Apart from that, we are making sure that whoever is coming for help, like the domestic help at home, we are making sure she's also wearing a mask and sanitizing herself. Trying to make sure that we have a little bit of social distancing with her, as in we don't crowd in her work area, so when she's working. um, in terms of me personally, what all precautions I'm able to take regarding my parents or my kid, there's not much of social distancing I'm able to maintain.
Yeah, of
But
course.
I'm I'm at least satisfied that whatever I'm doing sanitization wise outside at work, and once I come back home, I hope I'm kind of I'm sure that that's more than enough. So at home, of course, we're not using any mask or anything.
Yeah, that doesn't really make sense. Uh,
Yeah.
so, so I was just asking you that now that you switched to an online format for the old patients, as I previously mentioned, was it hard for you to like use technology suddenly at such a high level, like take appointments and see patients online? Was it that hard, that switch hard, or did you manage well?
It to begin with, it was hard. See, using online technology is not so hard because we have been using our phones. We have been using a Zoom or WhatsApp call or any other online video call method. So using it wasn't so difficult. But yes, trying to gauge what the patient is telling, or what condition that patient is in, on a video call, and in fact trying to take up patients through the process of using the video call for assessment was difficult. Trying to visualize the area where the pain is on a call, how to set up the phone so that we can really see the area or the body part that's painful, that was a little difficult. So we have had to find ways. Okay, so and so, please put your phone on the desk there and sit this way, sit that way. Basically visualizing on call was difficult. Otherwise, using technology in these days and times, I think almost everybody is now using it. So even our older patients were not finding it so difficult, they were able to use it.
Okay. So, if you could go back to the time where there was no COVID, but there was only one, like there was one thing that you could get back. Like you could go back into time with all the knowledge of COVID, and one thing you could get with you or get yourself up with, or a piece of information, anything. What would that be according to yourself?
I'm sorry, I did not get that question. I did not understand that question. Dobara se ek bar, if you could tell me here.
So if you
Yeah.
could go back into time where there was no COVID, maybe like Jan, March, where in India didn't like Jan, when India didn't have many cases of COVID, what was the one piece of knowledge or like information or maybe something physical that you would keep with yourself to battle COVID right now?
Okay. Um, I'm not too sure from that. Before we even knew that COVID is going around in this in the world, um, I'm not able to rack my brain through it. So you mean specifically if there was something that would help with the COVID
Yeah, anything.
situation?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I think this COVID scenario is pretty uh, a new thing because it was spreading so it spread so fast. So I think nothing prepared us for it. I think a little bit of mental preparation, a little bit of preparation, medical wise, having facilities, um, around organizing facility around the time to have that would have really helped. Knowing uh, how much precaution and for how long, how I think people have been we all have been confused about how much should we do and how much we should not be doing, to what limit we should be sanitizing, to what limit we should be exposing ourselves or going out. So there has been a lot of confusion, ye karna chahiye, ye nahi karna chahiye. So an information in that regard would have really helped.
Yeah, that's true. So like, how have you dealt with work and coming back your son and like, maintaining precaution and like looking after the other household responsibilities that you might have? So how have you maintained the balance between all of that?
So yes, it has been difficult because a lot of time goes. Our work day remains the same. Hours remain the same, and there is much more time consumed in terms of sanitization, cleaning, and all those precautions. Yes, but it's taken time to get used to, but it's now getting I think everyone, including myself, we're getting into in the process of managing everything well. I think the fact that schools are shut, personally for me, I think the fact that the school is shut and this and my son is at home, so we I don't have for from his side we don't have to maintain a routine, has helped. Everything being online, studies wise, had helped to maintain routine, in the sense we then get a full day's time to for him to do his work. And so for me to manage house and his work and my work has been a little bit easier because he's not going to school and coming back, and that routine is not there. So now it's becoming easy. um if there's been a period of time that yes, we all had to do even household a lot of household work on our own. I think it's just made us more independent, less dependent on other people. And I think it's just made me realize in that in yes, in these 24 hours, if I put my mind to it, I will be able to do all activity which I put my mind in, whether it's household work or whether it's child studies or whether it's my work or personal me time. If I put my mind to it in that 24 hours, I will be able to take our time. So yes, we are coping much better than I thought. I always thought that we are very dependent on our maids, on other service people for everything, but we are able to manage a lot of things on our own now.
Yeah. So do you think that the sanitization and all you were mentioning right now should continue even after COVID is like settled down?
I think yes. Even if the vaccine, whenever the vaccine is available, I think everyone should have. I mean, it's a very in a very ghastly, very bad situation that we are in. The one positive thing that has come out is at every level of every socio-economic level as well. People are being aware of sanitization. Everyone is washing hands, cleaning hands, keeping places around themselves very clean. Whether it's at our level, a higher socio-economic level, or even the lower strata where we see the workers, our house help, at work, our in our clinic, our housekeeping staff, they are all more aware of cleanliness, sanitization, cleaning. So I think that's a very good thing. That's one very positive thing that's come out of this really troublesome situation that we are in.
Yeah. So, do you have any other positive effects that the lockdown or the pandemic has had on you as an individual?
As an individual, yes. Since we are so worried and scared about how anyone can be affected so easily with this infection, I think we are, even if we're not able to meet our loved ones, our relatives, our friends and families, I think we're trying to be more in contact with them, whether it's with phone or on video call. We are trying our putting our initiative to be in contact with people. Say in normal daily life we were not doing all that, but now we are making time to call our family, our relatives, our cousins, our college friends, and being more in contact, just because we know that at any time anyone could be in a bad situation. And so it's good to be in touch with all of them. I
Yeah.
think that's also one positive thing that's come out of this.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Juhi, for your time. It has really helped me. Thank you.
And thank you for your taking this, making me the part of this interview. It's a very nice initiative from your side. Thanks,
Thank
Anvi.
thank you so much, Dr. Bye.